Today's tale comes from 1855 about Iron Dillard. She was a young black girl, the one the flames could not harm. What took place with her has no clear reason, no sense, no records that add up. This is a tough tale. Take a moment, listen close. Before we start, sign up for the channel and leave a comment with the city and country where you're listening from. Your support helps keep these tales remembered instead of lost. Let's get started. In the winter of 1855, something took place on the Whitmore farm in Colleton County, South Carolina, that people whispered about for years. A blaze took over the big house and moved across the land in a way that people who looked into it later called impossible. The flames spread with what one person who saw it described as careful purpose. They destroyed the overseer's home. They turned the cotton storage to dust. They made the whipping shed disappear. But somehow, in a way no one could explain, they left the cabins where the enslaved lived completely safe. 43 enslaved folks disappeared that night. The farm owner lived through it, but people found him the next day walking through the smoky wreckage, his skin covered in burn marks that shaped letters. Initials, 37 pairs of initials burned into his body. He never said another clear word for the rest of his days. When officials asked the few who saw what happened, they all gave the same answer. They said the fire moved on its own. They said it followed a girl, a 12-year-old girl who walked through the flames like she was stepping through a light rain. This is the tale of that girl. This is the tale of Esther Dillard, the one they named Iron, the girl the flames could not touch. To grasp what took place that December evening, we must go back 12 years. We must return to the time Esther entered the world. The Whitmore farm covered 2,300 acres of low country ground about 40 miles southwest of Charleston. In 1843, the year Esther came into being, the farm held 112 enslaved people and made around 400 bales of cotton each year. The owner, Randolph Whitmore, was 41 years old and saw himself as a kind master. He gave his enslaved one day off each week. He let them keep small garden spots behind their cabins. He even brought in a doctor to check on the workers twice a year. In Randolph Whitmore's view, these little kindnesses made him a decent man. The people he owned saw it differently. Esther's mother was a woman called Lily. She was 23 when she gave birth, and she served in the big house as a houseworker. Lily was known for her quiet ways and her careful steps. She had learned soon that staying alive meant staying out of sight. The less the white people noticed you, the better your chances. She kept her gaze low. She replied to questions with as few words as she could. She made herself small and helpful and easy to overlook. For 6 years, this plan kept her safe. The night Esther arrived, a storm swept over the low country. People who saw it recalled lightning hitting the old oak tree near the enslaved quarters 3 times in a row. Mama Zora, the eldest woman on the farm, was 78 that year, and she had helped bring more babies into the world than she could remember. She was the one who helped Esther come out, and she was the first to see that something was special about this baby. The infant did not cry. Most new babies announced themselves with loud wails. Esther just opened her eyes and looked about the room as if she was checking everything. Mama Zora would later say that the baby's eyes held an ancient spirit, a spirit that had witnessed much, a spirit that held memories. But what really upset Mama Zora came right after the birth. A candle on the window edge had fallen over during the delivery. The flame caught the corner of the blanket Lily had rested on. In the rush of the moment, nobody saw until the blaze was growing. Mama Zora reached for the newborn to pull her from harm, but Esther had already moved toward the flames. Her small hand stretched out and touched the fire right on. Mama Zora let out a cry. She was sure she would see the baby's hand ruined. Instead, she saw the child completely fine. The fire went out the instant Esther touched it. The baby's skin had no burns, no red marks, nothing. Mama Zora came from the Gullah people. Her grandmother had come to America from what is now Sierra Leone. She had grown up hearing tales of spirits and forefathers, of babies born with powers from the beyond. She looked at baby Esther and saw something familiar. She kept quiet about what she witnessed. Some truths she knew were too risky to say out loud. For the first 5 years of Esther's life, nothing odd happened, or at least nothing that people saw. Lily raised her daughter in the small cabin she shared with 2 other women and their kids. Esther was a quiet child, much like her mother. She observed more than she talked. She listened more than she questioned. The other kids on the farm thought her odd. She would sit for long times gazing at cooking fires, at candles, at the lights hung outside the overseer's place. Fire seemed to draw her in a way that made grown-ups uneasy. When Esther turned 5, the thing happened that would change all. It was August of 1848. The summer had been harsh, with heat over 100 degrees for weeks. The cabins for the enslaved had poor airflow, built with openings in the walls that let in winter chill, but did nothing for summer warmth. On the night of August 17th, a cooking fire not fully put out sparked up inside one cabin. The blaze spread fast through the dry wood. 7 people slept inside, including Esther and her mother. Lily woke to smoke smell. The cabin was full of it, thick and dark and hard to breathe. She heard cries from the other families. She reached for Esther, but her daughter was not next to her. In the mess and dark, Lily could not locate her child. She had to run from the burning building, sure her daughter was gone. The cabin burned for almost an hour. When the flames died, the enslaved group gathered around the smoky remains to grieve. 6 people had gotten out. 1 was gone. Little Esther, 5 years old, was thought dead. Then something impossible took place. The ashes moved. A small shape sat up in the center of the ruin. Esther stood up fully bare since her clothes had burned off, but her body was untouched. She was dusty with ash, but had no burns, no sores, no hurts at all. She stepped out of the ashes to her mother, who fell to her knees in surprise. The people who saw did not know what to think. Some saw it as a gift far. God. Others thought it was evil work. Mama Zora said nothing, but she watched the child with greater care. The word reached Randolph Whitmore by morning. The farm owner came to look at the girl himself. He checked her skin for signs of burns or tricks. He saw none. The child stood in front of him, small and silent, looking straight at him in a way enslaved kids were taught never to do. Whitmore was a practical man. He did not accept miracles or devils. He trusted science and reason and the usual way of things. What he heard was not possible, so there had to be a reason. The child must have gotten out before the spread. The watchers must have been mixed up. The tale must have grown bigger in retelling. But something about the girl bothered him. The way she gazed at him, the calm in her eyes. He chose in that moment something that would shape the next 7 years of Esther's life. He chose to try her. The first try came that same day. Whitmore had a small fire made in the yard outside the enslaved quarters. He told his overseer, a man named Thomas Garrett, to bring the girl over. Lily cried and pleaded, but she was stopped. Whitmore told the child to place her hand in the fire. Esther gazed at him for a long time. Then she stepped forward and put both hands straight into the flames. She did not cry out. She did not pull back. She kept her hands there for almost a minute while all watched in quiet shock. When she pulled them out, her palms were not even hot. Whitmore's logical mind fought to understand what he saw. He would try for the next 7 years to figure it out. He would not succeed. From that day, Randolph Whitmore grew fixed on the girl. He gave her a new nah. He called her Iron. It was meant as a joke, linking to the old idea that iron could push away bad spirits. If evil guarded this child, Whitmore thought, then maybe iron could break the hold. The name stayed. The enslaved group took it too, but for other reasons. To them, iron was not a joke. It meant strength. It reminded them that something strong lived with them, something even the master could not break. The tries went on. Whitmore put Iron through harsher tests over the years. He made her hold hot coals. He had her touch irons hot from the forge. He once had her locked in the smokehouse for 3 days, surrounded by small fires. Each time Iron came out fine. Each time Whitmore's anger grew. What upset him most was not the girl's clear safety from fire. It was her way. She never wept. She never pleaded. She just went through it, gazing at him with those calm eyes that seemed to look right into him. Sometimes, after a hard test, Whitmore would wake at night sure the girl stood at his bed end. She never did, but the sense stayed. The enslaved group made their own ideas about Iron. Some thought African spirits guarded her. Others saw her as a sign from God that freedom was near. A few, mostly those who took Christian ways and left old ones, thought she was risky and best stayed away from. But nearly all agreed on one point. There was something about this child that no one could explain. Mama Zora kept her thoughts to herself, but on Iron's 7th birthday, she brought the girl to her cabin and started teaching her. Mama Zora held the memories on the Whitmore farm. She kept the old tales, passed down from one to the next, going back to Africa. Most younger folks had forgotten these tales or saw them as old beliefs, but Mama Zora knew tales were more than fun. They helped survive, they kept who you were, they linked to a past slavery tried to wipe out. She told Iron about Ogun. In the Yoruba ways, Ogun was the spirit of iron and fire, the holy smith who made paths through wild lands. He was a fighter spirit, strong and firm, linked to fairness and guarding the weak. Mama Zora said that in times of deep pain, Ogun would give his gift to some children. These children would be touched by fire. They would be safe from its harm because they held its strength within. Iron listened to these tales without words. She did not know if she accepted them, but she felt something true in them. She had always known she was different. Now she started to see why. Mama Zora also taught her useful things. She showed her how to guide it. The old woman had watched Iron close over the years. She had seen that the girl's power was not just safety. It was active, even if Iron did not know. Small fires would die when Iron stayed calm. They would grow when she felt mad or scared. The power linked to her feelings, to her choice. Mama Zora thought it could grow stronger. The lessons happened in secret late at night when the farm slept. Mama Zora would light a small candle and have Iron try to guide the flame with her thoughts. At first, nothing. But over weeks and months, Iron started to sense something, a link, a pull between her and the fire as strong as a rope in her grip. She learned to make the flame bigger. She learned to make it smaller. She learned to shift it, to form it, to bend it to her choice. She told nobody what she learned, not even her mother. Some truths, Mama Zora said, were too risky to tell. If the master learned Iron could not just live through fire but direct it, no one knew what he would do. The years went by. Iron grew from child to young girl, and the farm kept its hard flow. Cotton planted in spring, tended in summer, picked in fall. The enslaved worked from sunup to sundown, their days counted in pounds picked and bales made. The way was built to get most work while giving least to the workers. It worked well, it made money, it was wrong. Iron said nothing. She was not ready to choose yet. 2 weeks later, her mother faced stealing charge. The charge came from Cornelius, the farm's black overseer. Cornelius was a hard figure in the farm order. He was enslaved but given power over others. He held a whip. He told the master of wrongs. He kept order. For this, he got better food, better place, some guard from worst hurts. Many enslaved hated him. They saw him as turncoat, a man who gave his spirit for bits from the master. Cornelius said he saw Lily take flour from kitchen storage. Proof was weak. No flour found with Lily. But Whitmore trusted his black overseer. It helped to have a black man punish black bodies. It split the enslaved. It made them doubt each other. It was a plan old as slavery. Whitmore chose Lily sold, not whipped, not punished on farm, but sold to trader who took her to Mississippi cotton fields. This was often worse than death. Mississippi farms known for harsh ways, life there short, and Lily separated from daughter forever. The sale set for June 10, 1855. Iron heard the choice the night before. She found her mother in cabin packing few things aloud. Lily not crying. She passed tears to numb take. This was their life. Families split, mothers from kids. Love risky because it gave masters more hold. Not forgive, not save, but not kill unless no choice. November come harvest. Cotton pick process bale market. Work tire, 16-hour days leave barely stand. Iron push, save strength come. Chose date, Saturday, December 17th, 1855. Sunday rest, extra hours before notice gone. Winter solstice, longest night. More dark, more travel. Last week's, Iron fine plan. Flee start midnight. Make distract, use gift start fires key spots farm. While overseers Whitmore chaos, Flee gather set point north edge land. There move quick Georgetown. Iron cover back. Stay, guide fires sure no follow. Group safe away catch up. Safe fire mean move burn areas stop pursuer. But leave, one last task. Randolph Whitmore. Learn feel marked, branded, carry lasting remind sins, skin. Iron planned careful. Remember names every Whitmore sold, every family split, every life ruin. 37 people, 37 initials. Burn skin forever. Not kill. Whitmore live body, but never forget done, all see no judged. Night December 16th, iron visit grave oak last, kneel cold grass speak mamazora, told tomorrow day, ask bless guide, promise not fail. Wind rise bare branches oak, moment iron feel hand shoulder, turn none but comfort, return cabin rest, tomorrow change all, tomorrow